Hello everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto and E30 project. Today I'm going to be working on the glove box. The glove box broke, I don't know when, but I need to fix it because apparently it's getting kind of hard to get glove boxes for these cars. Let's get over to the workbench. I've got everything torn apart and you can see what's going on and I can show you how I'm going to fix it. Alright, welcome to the workbench. Here is the back of the glove box on the E30, and you can see it's supposed to look like this, and that is so these pieces here can attach like so, and then the glove box hinges up and down. What happened was the hinge froze up completely, and someone just yanked on it to try to open it. And unfortunately, it broke out a bunch of the stuff on the back of the glove box. So I have to fix that. Two steps in fixing this. One is to fix the hinge, which I've already got torn apart. And the other is to fix the glove box, which I already have pieces made for. So what I did is I made these little pieces of bent up sheet metal that I had laying around that kind of fit down into these slots that used to be here for the glove box. On the center one, since I already have the broken piece of plastic to use as a spacer, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to drill and attach with the hardware that I have here. Same thing here. This one's not broken, so this little piece of metal here is the retainer, and it just drops down once you have this all put together. It just kind of drops down and slides in, slides in like that to hold it in place. So I'm just going to have to notch these for the hardware, which is a pretty quick process. On the last one here, I need to cut this out because I'm going to use this piece of aluminum that I've had laying around as a spacer just to give the right spacing for where the plastic would have been so that I don't have to bend the hinge. We're going to start with the hinge. I already took the liberty of taking the pin out. This is actually the pin that slides through the whole hinge, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to use a very small punch and drive the hinge out of or at least get it started. And then I used a little slide hammer on the hinge with my stud gun attachment and clamped onto the end of here like a welding stud that you do for body work, and I was able to yank it all the way out. I did gouge up the metal a little bit right here, but we're going to fix that. We're going to do it in a very efficient manner. I could sand it all by hand and make that happen that way, or I can use the technology I have. Very limited technology I have in the garage, but what we're going to do is we're just going to mount this in the drill. And we're going to spin it right here in this piece of sandpaper. And I might have to get a little more aggressive with that piece up there where I clamped onto it with the stud gun. I'm not entirely sure this is going to work, so I can get this as close to this end as I can. And I'm just going to try holding two files together Actually, that seemed to do a pretty good job. And we'll just finish it off with a little run on the sandpaper again. See how well this works. Try to keep this all straight while I tap this all back together. I'm actually amazed that I got that in there. If you ever see me drive a nail into a piece of wood, you'd know that it doesn't always go well. It's a little stiff, but not too bad. Like, it still moves around just enough, but it's a lot better than it was. The hinge is not seized. It actually moves and bends like it's supposed to. So that's the hinge part repaired. Let's move on to the glove box side again. All right, for this part, I just went to my local hardware store and got some stuff that I just decided to drop on the floor. Great plan. Just some M4 hardware. Apparently I bought the wrong length M4 hardware. I went way longer than I needed to. Everything's fine. But I just need to drill some holes in the sides here to mount these in. Then I need to drill a hole in the back. Then we can mount the glove box. So now that we've got these attached, and they're just attached with some hardware, I ended up buying the wrong size nuts and washers at the hardware store. That's what I get for doing this after working night shifts. Night shifts are great. If you haven't tried them, by the way, I highly recommend it. Ideally, I should be able to reattach all of these pieces. And then I can slip the glove box back in place. All right, there we have it. There is the repairs done on the E30 glove box. You can see where I tucked in the pieces of plastic that were broken just to act as spacers, because now it's reinforced here. This is what it looked like originally from the factory. So here's what it looked like from the factory. Here's what it looked like with plastic kind of wedged in there as a repair piece. And here's what it looks like with the piece of aluminum there as a spacer to take up where the plastic was missing. And our hinge seems to be moving okay. All right, hopefully I have enough room to do all this, show you guys. But here we go. This just goes, see if I can show you there. So there's the three spots there that the hinge slides into. You can see there the slots. Oh, I am definitely not built for tight little spaces like this. And there we go. Okay, that is in as good as it will ever be. Okay. I'm going to try to get that up on top of that. And then gotta get these pins back out of here and tighten up these pieces of hardware. All right, so it's back in. The judge is out on how easily it opens and closes. Kind of have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that part. But the glove box is back in. It has a hinge, and that was the whole goal of this job, was to make that part work. It does latch. I just got to be a little more aggressive with it than I thought I needed to be. So I don't know if there's actually a kit to do this job. I didn't even look around online. I kind of pulled everything apart, saw where it was broken, saw a way I could fix it for cheap. It was definitely under $10 to fix this, including just hardware that I went to buy, hardware that I used from my bolt bin, and some stuff I had in my scrap metal bin, and a little bit of time with the shears and a drill. But that's all the time I have for today. If you like E30 content and the other stuff I've got going on here in the garage, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Until next time, get out there and work on something.